Hi there, and welcome to this web lecture on social psychology. Did you know that the self consists of 3 different parts? And did you know that one of these parts is concerned with how other people think of us? My name is Peter Ruiten, and today we will be talking about the self. This web lecture will be divided in 4 different sections. In the first section, I will explain what the self is. And in the other 3 sections, I will explain the 3 parts of the self. And these are self-knowledge or self-concept, interpersonal self, and the agent self. When we want to describe what the self is, it is best to look at the 3 functions that the self has. The first one is that the self helps us to know what is best for us. And by knowing ourselves, we also know the things that we want and the things that we like. The second function of the self is that it enables us to relate to others. Because if we know the things that we like, it makes it easier to connect with other people who have similar preferences. The third function of the self is that it enables us to act on our moral beliefs and our values. Now, these 3 functions are related to the 3 parts of the self. The first part is self-knowledge, which is a set of beliefs that we have about ourselves. The second part is interpersonal self, which is concerned with the image that we convey to other people. And the third part of the self is the agent self, and the agent self is involved in controlling our behaviors and our actions. Self-knowledge, also called self-concept, is related with gathering information about yourself. Several concepts are important for this information gathering. The first one is self-awareness, which refers to the attention people direct towards themselves. Here, it is important to distinguish between private and public self-awareness. Private self-awareness refers to looking inward on the private aspects of self, including emotions, thoughts, desires, and traits. Public self-awareness refers to looking outward on the public aspects of self that other people can see. The second concept is self-esteem, which is a favorable evaluation of yourself. People with a high self-esteem think very positively about themselves. Finally, self-deception refers to the tendency that we keep positive illusions about ourselves intact. These are normally false beliefs about ourselves that we want to be true. Several reasons exist why people want to have self-knowledge, and these are all desires that people have. The first one is that people have a desire to learn the truth about ourselves. We like to know more about the kind of person we are. The second one is that we have a desire to learn favorable things. So we like to know our positive traits. And the third one is that we have a desire to confirm the self-beliefs. And the more we get to know about ourselves, the more likely it is that we confirm the beliefs we have about ourselves. The second part of the self is the interpersonal self. The interpersonal self is concerned with maintaining social connections. And this has a few key elements. The first one is what we call self-presentation. And self-presentation is concerned with the image that we convey about ourselves to other people. The second one is a social role. And social roles refer to the fact that we present ourselves differently based on the situations in which we find ourselves. So I, as a teacher, present myself differently compared to me as a husband or as a father. And finally, reputation refers to the opinions that other people have about ourselves. The third part of the self is what we call the agent self. And the agent self is concerned with making choices and decisions. And when we make decisions, we often do this purposeful. So we consciously think about the behavioral decisions that we want to take. And the agent self is responsible for this. The agent self is also responsible for what we call self-control. So we can regulate our emotions, thoughts, and our behaviors thanks to having an agent self. So in sum, today I have explained to you what the self is, and I have showed you the 3 different parts of the self. The first one is self-knowledge, which is a set of beliefs or information that we have about ourselves. The second one is the interpersonal self, which is about the image that we convey to other people. And the third one is the agent self, which is concerned with making choices and decisions. That was all for today. Thank you for listening and hope to see you again soon.